Hey guys, Marvin here with Driven by Graphics, and I'm working on a job that I'll be tiling out here in a minute, similar to this one here that's on the screen, and I just wanted to show you how I use the step and repeat functionality here within CorelDraw to do a layout that's not quite like this, but similar in terms of having a good number of designs on a particular page, just kind of tiled out and spaced evenly. Um, so this is the sticker. Basically it's just a 2-inch round sticker that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to tile these out into a 8.5 by 11-inch page size. So let's go ahead and get started. Right now my canvas size is this odd little over 2-inch size, so let's just change that to match the page size that I'm going to have these done in, which is the 8.5 by 11. And we'll go ahead and select our sticker here, and what I'm going to do, if you're not aware, but in this top left corner of Corel there's this origin, and this has to do with the kind of X and Y coordinates of your page in terms of how they align with the rulers, and the spacing is relative to which origin point you have selected. Ultimately what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get this down here in this bottom corner, is where I like to start at, and space it off of this edge about 1/8 of an inch from the left side, and then 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And so an easy way to do that is to start off, like I said, with your origin point, this bottom left dot selected, and 1/8 of an inch is 0.125. So I just type that in, hit tab to get to my Y coordinate, 0.125 there, and it places it exactly 1/8 of an inch from either side. So now I actually jump into this step and repeat functionality here. And ultimately, if you don't have the Docker there, which you may not if you've never used it before, it's in CorelDraw under this window menu option here, and then Dockers, and then step and repeat is here. And you should get a window that looks something like this. Now, there's different settings here between spacing them or tiling them horizontally and vertically. I typically like to start out doing the horizontal spacing, and I'm just doing something small, 0.05. That's just under 1/16 of an inch, and you can increment your number of copies to whatever you want. I like to just go one at a time to kind of see what fits across, and just stop at kind of my own pace there, as opposed to having a bunch that I have to delete out. Now, in terms of this layout, the next thing I want to do is actually, I'm trying to lay these out on the page so they're nicely spaced and all. And I've got this extra little gap here that's different from this side, and so to do that evenly, I'm going to reference the same 1/8 of an inch from the right side of my page, and so I'm going to move my origin position to the right. And one thing that's neat in CorelDraw, they allow you to do some basic equations, some basic math in here. And so I know that my page width is 8.5 inches, so I'll just type in the 8.5, and I want to subtract the 0.125, the 1/8 of an inch spacing there. So I want it to be 1/8 of an inch back from that page edge. So just doing that and hitting enter, then it moves it over accordingly. And the next thing I want to do is select all of these and distribute them horizontally. As you can see down here, there's more space now that I move that over between these than there are these others. And so to space them evenly, I'll select them all, and then I have the align and distribute Docker, which I've had it undocked now. I use it so often. You can drag these out if there's something you find you use often and don't want to have to go flipping through the different the Dockers here. What you can do is just drag that out like I've done here, and the align and distribute similarly is found under the Dockers page, align and distribute here. And so once I have all of them selected, I'm going to use the distribute space horizontally button here, and that has them now spaced out accordingly. And the next thing that I typically do is group all of them together, and you'll see why at the end, because I'll also go ahead and space them vertically as well. And if you don't group them, they'll all collectively try to group back together. So I'm going to select all, or select all that's on the screen here, and there's a couple different ways you can group. I right click there, and you can see that the shortcut is Control-G is what I typically use. We'll group them together, and now I'm going to distribute them vertically. And similarly, in terms of my spacing, just under 1/16 of an inch. I'm just going to tile them out the page, and obviously don't have any more room here to add those in. So what I'm going to do now is move over to the top origin point, and I want to space those 1/8 of an inch down from the top. And so with the top one of the top origin points selected, and my Y coordinate here, which is your vertical spacing, I'm going to go 11 inches, which is the top of my page, and I'll subtract out the 1/8 of an inch, the 0.125. And so now that's spaced exactly 1/8 from the top. And now again, because I had all these grouped individually, I can either draw the rectangle like so and select, or you can press Control A, will select all that's on your page, and I'm going to distribute vertically. And so now I've got them spaced out, tiled out on my page with the step and repeat function, doing it quickly instead of having to do like a copy paste, and manually dragging them out and have to figure out the spacing and all. So it's a real quick way to tile out a page, with a good layout there that has them evenly spaced across your page, for presentation type purposes, and if you're going to sell this as a transfer or something like that, to have that nice spacing for your client. So hopefully this helps and explains a bit on the step and repeat functionality, and how to use those origin points to space objects within your pages, and how to actually type in that math, basic functionality there within Corel. So again, hopefully that helps, and we'll see you again soon with some more tips and tricks on my page here. Take care.